Is it easy to scale down recipes for small portions? Have you ever wanted to make a favorite dish but only needed a small amount? Scaling down recipes can seem tricky at first, but it's actually quite manageable once you understand the basics. The key is knowing how to adjust ingredients without messing up the flavor or texture. If you want to cut a recipe in half, just divide each ingredient by 2. For quartering, divide everything by 4. But it's not always as simple as that, especially with volume measurements like cups and tablespoons. Converting 3/4 of a cup into smaller parts can be confusing because you might need to switch to tablespoons first. Using a kitchen scale makes this process easier. When ingredients are listed in grams or ounces, you just punch the numbers into a calculator and divide. This way, you avoid messy conversions and get more accurate results. Weight measurements are also better for saving money because they reduce the chance of adding too much or too little. Investing in an inexpensive kitchen scale is a smart move for anyone cooking on a budget. Baking is one of the more delicate areas when scaling recipes down. You need to change your baking pan size to match the new amount. For example, if a recipe is meant for a 9 by 13 inch pan, having it won't work well in the same pan. You might need a smaller pan like a loaf pan or a mini cake pan. Baking times also change, so keep an eye on your baked goods and check for doneness earlier. Seasonings are another tricky part. Salt, pepper, and spices don't always need to be cut exactly in half. For example, if a recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of salt for 8 servings, you might start with half a teaspoon for servings and then taste. Some spices need time to develop flavor, so taste and adjust gradually. Ingredients like baking powder, baking soda, and yeast also don't always scale perfectly. When halving, you can usually cut these in half, but when quartering, the leavening might not be enough. This can cause baked goods not to rise properly. So it's good to be cautious and maybe keep a little extra leavening on hand. From a money perspective, scaling down helps prevent waste. Making a full recipe for just 1 or 2 people often leads to leftovers that spoil. By adjusting the recipe, you only buy what you need, which saves both money and ingredients. Practicing with recipes you already know helps a lot. When you know how the dish should look and taste, it's easier to tell if your scaled version is right. Keeping notes on what worked and what didn't helps you improve over time. A simple tip is to make the full recipe once, then divide it into smaller portions and store leftovers. This avoids the math altogether and ensures you get exactly what you want without risking a failed batch. Overall, having recipes is straightforward and reliable. Quarters are more complicated but still doable with some adjustments. Starting with recipes you're familiar with and using a kitchen scale makes the process smoother. With a little practice, you'll find it easy to cook the right amount every time, saving money and reducing waste.